Today we're going to talk about the top 5 things that I dislike about my 2008 FJ Cruiser. So we'll dive right in. Number 1 is the fact that I can't disable traction control on this. This was year specific, I believe, to 07, 08, and possibly 09. It was either 2009 or 2010 where they put a little button right underneath the radio to disable traction control. I consider this kind of a safety feature because I come from owning vehicles without ABS, traction control, or stability control prior to this, and this is the first vehicle I've owned that's had any of those 3. Now I suppose it really could just be a matter of getting used to having those things there. I do like having ABS, that is definitely a plus, but the traction control and stability control is something I'll have to get used to. Those features have actually almost put me in a ditch once or twice. Just because not being used to having them, I try to correct the vehicle if it goes into a little bit of a skid and slippery conditions, and the vehicle is also trying to correct, and it just doesn't work out. It's also nice to have the ability to disable those when you're in off-road rough conditions, which I would imagine is why they put that feature in later models. So that is year specific, but that's probably my biggest gripe about this. Number 2, if we come around to the back, we'll see that we do have a nice big cargo area back here. However, if we try to fold the seats flat, they don't quite fold flat. After doing a little reading, it sounds like Toyota had designed the seats to fold flat in the FJ prototype, but ended up ditching that for the actual model. And this is just a super pain trying to put flat things in here. They angle down. I don't really know exactly what I carry that makes that so much of a pain, but it's also a little rough trying to sleep in the back of this thing. I do eventually plan to build a platform in the back that will be for sleeping on, but for now, I mean, I gotta pile stuff up in here and try to lay down on it, so that really annoys me, probably much more than it should, but I wouldn't think it would have taken a whole lot to just make those lay flat, but anyway, we'll move on to number 3. With number 3 being the fact that this rear window does not remotely open. In order to open it, you have to walk around to the back of the FJ, put the key in the keyhole in the tailgate, hold it to the side, wait for it to click open the window, lift it up manually, go back, get in the driver's seat. The front driver and passenger windows are power windows. It would have been nice to have that option back here. I mean, it is a relatively small window. And we know that Toyota 4Runners do have roll down back windows, so that would have been great to have that option here. They do actually sell aftermarket kits to remotely open and close those windows, but it would sure be nice to not have to get out and open that. Number 4 is going to be poor rearward visibility while driving this thing, which, to be perfectly honest, is something I knew going into it. I do plenty of research before I buy a new type of vehicle, and this one was no different. But as you can see, we've got these massive pillars here, combined with a small window there, and over here. And it's the same on the other side, which I would imagine contributes pretty good to the rollover ability of this vehicle. But it can be a little annoying sometimes. I do plan on doing a few modifications to help with that, so stay tuned for those if that's something you're interested in. And number 5, the 5th and final gripe I have with this thing is just generally how electronic it is, which really is something that should be expected of any newer vehicle, and it's very much on par with any other 2008 manufactured vehicle. It's you know, we have drive-by-wire pedal. Just everything on here is so integrated with the computer. Everything's electronic. And that's personally something I'm not a huge fan of. When something goes wrong, it can be a pain in the butt to figure out what it is, or it can be expensive to fix. And I like having full control of my vehicles, and to release some of that control to the computer is, I don't know, just something I don't necessarily prefer. But again, you know, I really can't complain a whole lot about this thing. It's a great vehicle. I've done my best to figure out what few things I can complain about, and they're such small things, as you can tell by this video. That I mean, this is just an excellent vehicle. You know, aside from those things, which would be nice if they were different, but obviously I bought the vehicle, so I'm willing to live with them. And I guess I gotta close by saying, probably, you know, one of the bigger things that I don't like about this is that they don't make them anymore. If they did, I would very much consider going out and buying a brand new one for myself, rather than a used one, and just plan on keeping it for many years. But hopefully you enjoyed that video. If you liked it, go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe for more FJ content. I will be doing a video talking about the top 5 things that I like about this vehicle. So that'll be a little bit of a follow-up video. And down the road, I'll be doing plenty of modifications here, as well as producing some Jeep content if you're into that. I have a few Jeeps, and we'll be bringing those into the channel as well.